What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we are going to be doing an episode of Watch Wars. Now we're going to be comparing two Submariner homages. On the left we have the Cronos, which is the more expensive and premium, and then we have the cheaper Exec on the right. So if you've never seen Watch Wars before, we basically take two very similar watches, put them head to head and see which one is better across 10 categories. 10 points per category. The winner is the one with the highest score at the end. So now that's out of the way, let's do the first category, which is design, and you can see both of them score a 6.5. And the reason why both score exactly the same is because, well, I mean, they're both a sub-homage, they're both homage watches, which is why they don't score as high as an original design. The reason why they score the same is because, well, it's a little bit swings and roundabouts. This one is a no-date version, but it's missing the 5-minute markers. This has the 5-minute markers and the date window, but yeah, it is obviously has the date. It's also got an applied logo, which this one does not. This is just printed. Applied indices on both, ceramic bezels on both. I think the Cronos is a little bit more accurate to the Submariner, because you can see it's got that hard, solid case back, which is done in the same style as a sub, whereas this one has a display case back, so you can see the movement inside. So yeah, swings and roundabouts really, depending on your preference. I personally prefer the no date version. I just think it looks a little cleaner, a little bit more symmetrical. It's just a personal preference. So yeah, there's nothing much to change between them, which is why they both score exactly the same. So guys, now we get on to the second category, and that is build. So let's take a look, build and finish, and you can see the Cronos is a point ahead. And the reason why the Cronos is a point ahead is because, well, the finishing is just ever so slightly better. The polishing on the sides is just a little bit nicer. There's far less imperfections in it. And also the bracelet finishing is a little bit smoother actually than the Exec. It's not a massive difference, but I've noticed that this one is definitely more satin and a bit smoother. This one is still very, very good quality for the price point, but the Cronos just edges it in terms of the finish. It's just a little bit nicer done, but that's to be expected at the price point. So let's move on to the next category, and that is the bracelet. And you can see again the Cronos does take the win with 8.5 to 7.5. And the reason why this takes the win is because, well, one, it's better finished. Two, we do have a better clasp. Now this one isn't branded or signed like the Exec, but the reason why this one scores an extra point is because we do have one feature that the Exec does not have, and that is, if I can, let me just pop the Exec down actually for a second, you can see we have a glide lock system, which is something you get on the Rolex has as well. Now the Exec does not have that, which is why this scores an extra point. You can also see that this Cronos one is a lot bigger than the Exec as well, because obviously it's got that glide lock to fit in. But yeah, this is definitely the better bracelet because it's obviously got that glide lock, which is a more premium feature. Moving on to the next category, comfort, and you know what, both of them score really well. Yes, this one has the glide lock, so you could probably maybe give it an extra half a point if you wanted to. I just find that the Exec fits ever so slightly better, and I think it's because I've only got a slim wrist. The smaller clasp just seems to be a little bit more comfortable for me, even though this one can be adjusted absolutely perfectly. I just think this one is a little bit more comfortable just because there's much less bulk on the clasp. Again, that's going to be different for you guys. Obviously, your wrists are probably not the same size as mine, so you might not mind the extra length of that clasp. So it swings and roundabouts. We've all got different wrist sizes, but for me personally, I find the Exec a little bit comfortable, even though the the Cronos is really comfortable as well. And the reason why it scores just as high is because, again, it's got that glide lock, so you can get perfect fit. Moving on to the loom, and you can see the Cronos scores 8, whereas the Exec scores a 6.5. Now the reason why the Cronos scores 8 is because, well, it's so much brighter. It lasts longer, it's a nicer colour, and yeah, it's just overall better loom. It just, like I said, it gets brighter initially, it lasts longer at that brightness. And yeah, it's just a really clean application. Also, if you opt for the full loomed bezel, they do a full loomed bezel as well. Mine's just the one with the loom pip, but if you spend a little bit more, you can get a fully loomed bezel as well. So if this one had the fully loomed bezel, then, you know, it'd probably get an extra point. But this has just got the loom pip, the same as this one. But the loom is just better quality overall. And obviously it's to be expected at the price point, you know, because it's more a premium watch, so the loom is more premium. And, you know, it does show. Moving on to the next category, and you can see it's another win for the Cronos. And the reason why this wins is because of one thing. This has a Seiko NH35, which is a really good, reliable, robust movement, whereas this Cronos has a PT5000. So if you don't know your movements, this one is a high beat movement. It's got basically all the same features as the NH35. It's a little bit more accurate, and again, it's high beat instead. So you can see the second hand, if I just give you a nice close-up, sweeps much smoother than the one on the Exec. Because of that high beat, it's 28,800 compared to 21,600. So you just get that much nicer sweep of the second hand. And also, if you're not familiar with PT movements, these have actually been around for a long time, but they've only just been more utilised quite recently. I think they've been around for about a decade, but, you know, not many watchmakers actually use them, and they've stuck with the Seiko NH35. Whereas now, you know, more companies are adopting the PT5000, and yes, they are more expensive to purchase, but, you know, they're just a really good, reliable movement. And yeah, I've not had any problems with this one whatsoever. So really, really good, really nice sweep. So yeah, this one gets an extra point just because it's high beat, and yeah, it's equally as good as the NH35, apart from better because it's smoother. Moving on to water resistance, and you can see the Exec takes another win, 7-6. And the reason why the Cronos takes the win is because it's got an extra 100 meters of water resistance. This is 200, this is 100, so it gets an extra point. Now the Exec, you know, is pretty decent for swimming, but you can actually probably take this one diving. Now I've had to repair mine. If you've not seen it already, I'll put 1 and 2 parts of this watch in the description to explain what's happened, because, you know, if I explain it, it's going to make the video too long. But I've had to take this watch apart to fix it. So mine probably won't be 200 meter water resistant anymore, but if you buy one straight from Cronos, then it probably will, and you could go swimming with it. This one, I'd say, you could probably go diving and swimming. This one, I'd say, is just safe for swimming only. Moving on to availability, and both of them score 6.5. Now, with the Cronos, you can get them on AliExpress and via Cronos Direct. The Exec you can get on Amazon and through Exec Direct. So both of them score the same because they're available in 2 places. So both, you know, easy to come by. AliExpress and Cronos, Amazon and Exec. So yeah, they're really, really easy to get a hold of. You can also get them both on eBay used as well. I got mine from eBay and got a good price on it. Obviously, you know, if you want to shop on eBay, you could probably find these. Maybe not the Exec as much though. So yeah, there is that. Then we get on to the brand, and you can see the Cronos takes the win again. And the reason why the Cronos takes the win again is because, well, I think they've got a good reputation for making really good, reliable and high quality watches. Exec are a little bit more of an unknown quantity. They've not been around as long. They've not had as much time to build up that brand reputation. Cronos, like I said, have been around a lot longer, and they're well known for making good quality watches. And do you know what? In this case, they do make really good quality watches. So yeah, that is why the Cronos wins, and I think the name also sounds a little bit better than Exec as well. Right guys, so now we get on to the final category, and that is price and value, and you can see it is an ever so slight win for the Cronos. And the reason why this Cronos wins is because, well, it's just a better watch. It's better finished, it's better made, it's got a better movement, it's got that better clasp and better mechanism there. So yeah, the reason why this one scores so high is because, well, it's more affordable, obviously, and it's got a good feature set. It's really well made, really well finished. It's just the Cronos is a lot better. The bracelet, like I said, is better, and it's just better as a whole. This one is about £180-ish, 190-ish if you get the full loom bezel. This one you can pick it up from around £89. So both of them are, you know, really good value in their own right. Obviously this one's more premium, but you get what you pay for. And the same again with the Exec, you know, you get what you pay for. So now we get on to that final score, and let's see which watches won. And there you go, you can see after the scoring adjustments, we're on 74 to the Cronos and 66.5 to the Exec. So if you want the better Submariner Homage out of the two, get the Cronos. If you can, you know, stretch the budget, it's definitely worth it. Take a look on eBay though, you might get a bit of a deal. If you can afford one brand new, I'd definitely get one brand new. But yeah, it's definitely a fantastic Submariner Homage. It's the best I've ever come across, and I've had quite a few over the years, but this one has been the best. This one is, you know, is good value. I like the, you know, the symmetrical design, and it's very, very good. It's just the Cronos is a better watch, and you know, that's just it really. That's all there is to say. The Cronos is the better of the two. This one is obviously the more affordable of the two, but still a good watch in its own right. So that is pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Which would you grab? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.